Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm doing this video on my laptop. I'm trying different scenarios and stuff. And, I've been really preoccupied lately and trying to, again as usual. I mean, I'm a Gemini. Geminis have a very wishy-washy kind of way. We fight in our brains. We fight with ourselves. So. Uh, been trying to get my my life, from a lack of a better word, my inner self situated and get things rolling the way I want them to roll. And I let the winter interfere. And summertime now, I'm a lot better. So we'll see what's going on. But I know when I first started this channel, I just come back into my camper and and the videos I did was I did the introduction, I did the um, initial there was two videos anyway that I introduced myself and stuff, but then the next one I did was I got my hair cut and started trying to do a different me, I guess that's what you want to say, but it was the video was called Homeless at 80. I did 63,400 views on that. And people seemed to really like that. And it was all about being tiny and living in a tiny house and how you make a home out of really nothing. Now, mine was a camper. Um, so my whole deal about that was living intentionally and get your goal and go for it and that type of thing. So, and I've tried many different avenues on this particular channel. This particular channel, I don't care how much you try to change it, it's not going to change from the initial what I started it out to be. So I went back to my original thought is living tiny and how to live tiny and how to downsize and how to get yourself into a more simpler way of living and be able to have all your needs met and have your wants met and so forth. So in all that process and trying to find out how I could manage to do it, turned into other things, when in reality, of course, I know, it's hard to imagine. I mean, there's all kinds of different people in this life, and I'm not unique. There's a lot of people like me that bounce back and forth with different things, and it just so happens that I'm on YouTube and people see that. So I've tried many different things, and some of it works and some of it don't. So I took my channel back to almost to the original of what it was. It used to be Royalty Tiny Home Creators. Well, it is now Tiny Home Simple and Abundant at Joy's Tiny Home. So I'm gonna go back to if you wanna have your money go further, your resources go further. then there's just some people that have to go tiny. That's just bottom line. Now, there's a lot of people that can do it in a bigger home. Now, right now, I'm in a camper, and I believe that I could do the same thing in a little bit of a bigger house, a little tiny house, not a camper. So, I'm hoping from here on out that I can show everybody how to either take a camper. Some people use an RV and just park it. That's with a motor in it that you drive around. But there's a lot of drawbacks to living in a camper. Whereas, I mean, there's more drawbacks living in a camper to keep it upgraded than it is a house. Or a tiny house. A big house. Even if you have a big house and you take different rooms in it and turn it into tiny little apartments, for people and things like that, especially you, if you can take one part of the house and do that. So, like I said, I'm going back to my original um, way of doing my videos and my channel, and we're going to talk more about intention. So that's what my intent here is to make my channel better than it was in September. Started out in August, actually, and I got all my 2,000 subscribers and got a lot of views. And I still want to say that it's a lot of people like to either hear doom and gloom, and they thought that I was 80 years old and I was homeless, or they like laughter and no negativity. But there is negativity in this life, so we've got to face that too. So the pitfalls of trying to live life in society, and if you try to go off grid, all the pitfalls falls that are to that. And but if you fail, use the lessons that you learned in that failure. It's never really a failure. So if you can take what looked like a failure and get all the positivity out of it and all the lessons that you could learn out of it, then you're going to be much better off. So, but that's where I'm going with this. So, I have not really sat down now and go with what I'm going to do with my new version of living a tiny lifestyle in a tiny house, creating your own tiny home in whatever that may be, and how you want to take your money and spend it. What's simple to you, what's abundant to you, because everybody's abundance is different. And that could mean financially, that could mean happiness, that could mean good emotions, that you can walk around in your little home and be completely content. I call myself a poor man's perfectionist. So it's a little bit harder for me to come into a camper and use what I've got uh, to make it up to my standards. Now, right now, and like you've all seen before, that it is comfortable to everybody else, but or looks comfortable to everybody else, but it's not all that comfortable to me. Now, I've got it to a point where there are certain aspects that I can learn to live with, but it's still not my version of what I call comfortable, homey, everything fits my criteria. So anyway, I'm still working on that too, in which unless I bring in some professionals and I design it how I want it and then get opinions from them on how it would work, then it's not going to be exactly the way I'd like it. That's just like my bathroom right now. Now, the bathroom underneath the tub has a water gray tank that the water from the sink and the bathtub, the shower all goes into that. Well, apparently it has overflowed several times, and I can tell the difference that the floor, I can tell that the floor needs redone underneath there. Because when I step into the shower, there's a spot in the tub that has sunk. So I'm eventually going to have to get that fixed if I'm going to stay in this. And so when I hit that spot, it kind of scares me a little bit because I had my sister lived with a friend of hers, and they were living in a trailer. And the friend was sitting in, it was a sunken tub, I believe that's what it was. And one day she was in it, and it just fell completely through the floor with her in it. I don't want that to happen to me. So I definitely don't want that to happen to me. So am I going to get it fixed? If I stay in here, I'm going to have to. Do I want that particular little place for my shower and my commode? Do I want to go compost? What do I want to do? Because if the water tanks, the sewage and stuff overflows again, do I want to mess with that? Do I want any of that? Now, it's different than if your commode in a house overflows or your shower clogs up. It's totally different because a commode you can use a plunger and if there's something in there you can unplunge it unless you drop something big in there, and then you're going to have a snake to get that out with. But you can't do that here because everything just goes straight down. And so you either have to find a way to unclog it out there, outside, underneath the tanks, if it's clogged, if it's full and it's not going nowhere. And I'm not into that. I can't do that. I won't do that. I can plunge a toilet. I can take and plunge a shower or a bathtub. I mean, if it's full of hair or whatever, I can do those kind of things. So I have to decide, and as so many of you out there, you're going to have to decide, in which it's a big rage nowadays, building a tiny home in a van, and or getting a camper or an RV to live the rest of your life in. You got to think real hard before you do that. You got to do your research. You've got to find out what you're willing to do on your own and stuff, especially if you want to save money. If you want your means of income to go further than it's doing now. So, and again, it goes back to, I'm still trying to compound even my office. So right now I've got some of my stuff. I put one of my stands out here that I was using for a countertop to prepare food and stuff on. But I wanted a better and easier way to do my videos so that I didn't have to get a tripod out, that I didn't have to put my phone in and do all of that and stuff. Plus, my laptop uploads it faster, and it has everything on it that I might need if I need music or something like that. So, trying to figure out how to take this space that I'm at right now, which I turned it around so I would have a good backdrop. So, am I going to do that on a continuous basis? Do I have to turn the stand around? Whatever I have to do to make it work? I don't know. I mean, there's just so many different things that if you want to do them in a tiny area, a camper, which camper's not. Now, if all this stuff was tore out of here to begin with and I could come in and design it the way I wanted to, but it wasn't. I mean, I had to take what I could get at the time. Um, so that's what I'm going back to. I'm going back to designing tiny homes. Even if it's only in my head and I tell it to y'all and show you what I can do in here and what I can't do and different things that you can use to make it possible for you to live tiny and live simple and get abundant, be abundant at the same time. And abundance, like I said, could mean money, which I do believe that if you was to be intentional about all your decisions and all your moves and um, what you buy and what you don't buy and what's real to you and what you want in your life, then I think it could be done. So um, anyway, that's where I'm going with this channel. Like back to the beginning. And sometimes your beginning ideas is what's going to work. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm still going to work on off-grid kind of stuff, solar and stuff like that, because um, first of all, campers are either 30-watt electricity or 50-watt electricity. Now, I only have 30 watts, so like I've told you before, that I got to watch the breakers that I don't have too much wattage on each breaker. So I'm going to get ready to sneeze, y'all. Oh, I'm sorry. But anyway, that's where I'm going with that. So watch for future videos. Now, like I said, now I don't know as I've got myself back in the feeling of wanting to do a video every day. I don't know. We'll see. I want to try to make them better, and maybe I only have to do one every couple days or something like that. Maybe one or two a week. I know people that only do one a week. So we'll see. But that's where I'm going with that. So remember, a merry heart doeth good like a medicine, y'all. And a broken spirit will dry up your bones. And I've been fighting for the last couple of weeks, few weeks, not to let my spirit be broken. And that's where your empathic, your intuition, your senses all come in, that you can decipher what's going on and what's not going on within yourself. So, trying hard not to let my spirit be broken because of all what's going on around me. I don't pay too much attention to what's going on out in the world, although I know it's there. I let some comments mess me up. I let the winter mess me up, and my wants and needs mess me up and stuff. So now I have to crawl back up out of the ditch, because that's all it was a ditch, wasn't a pit. So We'll see what kind of deal I can come up with and on Tiny, and how I can present it to you. Maybe I could show you different pictures of Tiny and stuff like that. I got to figure out how to do that, but I don't know yet. So, but anyway, and if you believe you can or if you believe you can't, you're right either way. Because if you believe you can, then you're going to be able to. If you believe you can't, then you're not going to be able to. So, but if you believe you can, then move in the direction, and one step at a time. Find out what you can get to, what you have to do to get to the next step, and then the next step, and then the next step, and make it happen. Make things happen. And with your creator, of course. So y'all have a great day.